As Dave Ramsey once said, you must gain control over your money or the lack of it will control you. That's very rare that we quote a Dave Ramsey, but there's a reason why. Because we can't disagree. Today, we're going to discuss 5 actionable steps to help you escape the debt cycle for good. By following these steps, you'll regain control of your finances and build a brighter future. Step 1 is creating a budget.
If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So the part about creating a budget is really about building a foundation of understanding where you are today. Because in order to actually understand how to eliminate and or reduce debt, you have to understand what's coming in. So what is your income? What are your expenses? What are the debts being paid? What are the interest rates that you're paying on a lot of this debt? And if you can understand that, it can help build a roadmap to where it is you actually need to go. So the first step is absolutely creating a budget because it's critical in helping you understand how you're going to get to your goal.
Step 2 is prioritizing high interest debt, but it may not be what you think.
You know the thing about that? Because I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking about it. Prioritizing high interest debt. I think it's actually prioritizing debt. And here's what I mean. There may be a situation where, based off the fact that it may be a higher interest rate debt, that may not be the one that you want to actually go after first. So it's really more prioritizing debt. Once you've established what your numbers are and what's coming in, what's going out, and what those expenses and debts are, it's prioritizing that debt so that you can make sure you're hitting the right one at the right time. And here's what I mean. Let's say you've got a loan that if you were able to tackle that loan effectively, you could actually increase your cash flow significantly. Even though you might have a high interest credit card that has a low balance, but you know it's accruing debt pretty quickly because of that high interest rate, which one would be more beneficial to you addressing first? And so prioritizing what order or what fashion you want to address that debt can also help you accumulate more cash flow faster, which will allow you to be able to eliminate debt faster as well.
Step 3, automating payments.
Automating your payments ensures that you won't miss critical dates. And therefore, not missing those critical dates allows you to avoid the possibility of being impacted by late fees.
The other thing about automating payments is that not all payments can be automated, right? So you are the automation. And one thing that I really appreciate about you, Donnell, is religiously, you will take the time, you have it in your schedule, it is non-negotiable, you are the automated payment, and you have built that into your schedule consistently, and so it's just become routine for you. Making that a priority, I feel like for some people, that does become negotiable, so they do lean hard on automated payments, not even thinking to check if that payment hit. Part of your process has been to check that the automated payment actually was posted. One of those is it could be a huge mistake for people and a big miss with a lot of consequences if they don't double check, right?
It's true. The key piece around being able to automate payments when you can, it's less that you have to think about. Now you get to focus on prioritizing those debts or making sure that you've got the right vehicles in place to be able to address debt timely.
Reducing debt is only part of the equation. Adding income is the other. So step 4 is increasing income.
And you know what? It sounds pretty basic. Like it sounds obvious, right? Hey, I'm in debt. What's the best way for me to be able to get out of debt? Add more income. But I'm just going to rephrase that a little bit. It's just basically increasing your cash flow because sometimes you can increase cash flow without making more money.
One of the most common factors that you have seen is that no matter how much somebody is making, they usually live at their income.
So yeah, it's interesting that you say that. A lot of times, regardless of what you make, I'd say if we were to put all of my clients in a room, I'd say majority of them, when we're talking about debt reduction or debt elimination, their cash flow is somewhere between, I'll call it $0 to $1,000, somewhere in that range. And that's regardless of what they make, regardless of the income level that they currently are. And that's mainly because a lot of times our lifestyle ends up matching what it is we make. So we may have only had a $500 cash flow, but then we got a raise. And because we got a raise, that meant maybe we need more stuff, more things, or a larger home or a better car. And as a result, our debts and our expenses end up matching what it is we're making. Increasing your income doesn't necessarily only mean, hey, I have to add more income. I have to get a better job. I have to go after the side hustle. It can mean that, but that's not all that it means. We're just basically talking about is increasing your cash flow. And sometimes that could mean not just adding more income to the income that you already have, but could also mean restructuring some of the debts or some of the expenses that you have to increase your current cash flow without making any more money.
Number 5 is staying motivated.
Staying motivated and celebrating milestones assist in you being committed to this process, because it's very difficult to understand how much progress is being made if you can't see it. And sometimes those small wins, that 400, that 300, that $200 change in the balance on that debt that you've been trying to pay off, and regardless of how small it might be, it allows you to understand, where am I headed?
It's easy for people to convince someone to deter off of their path, right? To justify an expense. And then once you start moving down that path, it's easier. It's like a snowball, right?
Staying motivated and celebrating those milestones allows you to add some accountability into the process as well, to help you stay committed to accomplishing your goal. Because without that, how do you do it?
Sometimes you are the only one who's celebrating those milestones. Nobody else is going to be that excited for you. That's why it's so important that you do take the time out.
Yeah, and I think, staying motivated allows you to keep the goal out in front of you.
If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there.
Understanding where we're headed and being okay with the fact that we're not there today. Being okay with the fact that, yeah, I haven't eliminated all of my debt, but you know what? That $100 has made a difference. That cash flow that I've increased in this short period of time, there's success happening, and it gives you the fire to keep going and keep accomplishing your goal.
Stephen Hawking said, the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge. And a lot of people who are stuck in this cycle are simply afraid to ask questions. We wanted to change that and create an environment where it's okay to be exactly where you are, and you have people to stand on the same side of the table with you to look at your issues, look at your problems, and help you come up with solutions. If you have questions about escaping the debt cycle, drop them in the comments below and we'll connect with you there. And if you need more information on managing debt, check out the links in the description for articles, tools, and we have a ton of free resources in there. Or follow us over to this next video. I'm Angelique.
And I'm Donnell.
And our goal is to help you
get self-directed.
This way. We'll see you there.